children in the foster care system having their identities stolen. It's a big enough issue that Congressman Jim Langevin is pushing for legislation to help these children. I-Team reporter Allison Bologna spoke with a foster care child who had this happen to her. She weighs in on why she supports this bill and how she thinks it can help other children.
I was in the foster care system since I was 8.
They're amongst the most vulnerable, children. All children, but especially those in and out of foster care.
I was in 4 foster homes and 1 group home.
This is Dee St. Frank. She has just aged out of the system, and it wasn't until she tried to get her own apartment when she learned someone had stolen her identity. And get this, it happened a very long time ago.
When I did move out on my own, I went to open an account for my cable and my internet, and then I gave them my social security number, and then they said, well, we can't open an account with you because you have outstanding balance of over $3,000.
Dee learned someone had taken out an account in her name when she was only 8 years old. She says she doesn't know who did it.
When I first figured it out, I was upset because I was scared that I wasn't able to erase the issue.
On any given day in Rhode Island, approximately 2,200 kids are in some form of out-of-home care. Despite social services and state aid, these kids don't have the same network of support to protect them from being victimized. They also don't have the same resources to help them dig out of fraud and consequent debt, should it happen.
From our personal experience just in the past year here at the Foster Parents Association, I can personally think of 6 or 7 cases.
What we've been learning is that foster care children who have had their identity stolen don't really want to go to police to report it because they've already been through so much. So Congressman Jim Langevin is trying to prevent that before it happens. What he's trying to do is pass a bill that would essentially require foster care agencies to run credit checks for foster care children every year. So if their identities are stolen, they can do something about it quickly instead of waiting a long time, like in Dee's case, more than 10 years.
This came to my attention just recently as a result of a study that was conducted in the state of California, where they found that perhaps as many as 50% of the kids that are in the foster care system had their identities stolen. Outrageous, and it was shocking.
So Congressman Langevin is trying to act quickly. He tells us this is somewhat of a personal issue for him because growing up in his family, they had taken care of foster care children before, so he knows firsthand the challenges they're up against. The executive director of the Rhode Island Foster Parents Association supports Congressman Langevin's bill.
I think that we need to make a commitment to determine whether or not a young person's identity has been stolen prior to them leaving care, so that they can have the resources of the system to resolve that issue before their case is closed.
Dee is in good shape right now. She's been able to clean up her credit report, but she recognizes that not everyone is so fortunate.
I think this bill will help this issue because like a foster child has so much on their mind. Like this should be like the last thing that they should be scared of.
For the I-Team, Allison Bologna, NBC 10 News.
And the steps in this bill to prevent the identities of foster care children from being stolen can apply to all children. So if you're a parent, think about running your child's social security number once a year through a credit check, through a reputable company, to be sure the number has not been compromised. And if it has, report the fraud to all 3 credit bureaus immediately. If you have a tip